to see it, but she's cute. I love how this stylist, yes, she twisted the roots, but she still left it fluffy, if that makes sense. So it looks so good. I'm now on my way to a date because that's how I roll, baby. There, good people. I haven't said that. I gotta hydrate after that yoga class. I overheated like just a little. I stepped out of the room to make sure that I didn't like have a problem, and I went back in. But yeah, I didn't hydrate enough. And I didn't drink last night or anything. I just did not hydrate enough, and I gotta remember that because I have to hydrate when I am doing a heated class, and that was a heated class. So noted. I came on here to say that in this vlog, you will see me dating. You won't see the person I'm dating. You saw I went on a date last night. I will be dating tonight because I am dating, but I am dating like a woman in her 30s, right? I was talking to my hairdresser about this yesterday because she's dating as well. We were talking about how the fact that like our heads are just up, and any woman knows this, right? I don't care what you look like. Men hit on all women, right? And we avoid them when we're going everywhere, whether they know it or not, right? Like if someone in the South, there's protocol, right? So you have to say, acknowledge someone's presence, whether it's through a head nod, through words, you have to acknowledge someone's presence. It's polite. If you don't, you're rude. You never know what you're going to get with the rudeness, right? And so it's normal for me to just be like, how you doing? And keep walking, right? I don't care about the answer. Just keep walking, or just avoiding eye contact when someone looks sketchy, whatever it is. Always avoiding. That's the name of the game. Even when I'm going out with friends, whatever, that's the name of the game. But if I'm dating, my head is up. I don't use dating apps. If you're new here, never have, don't want to. I find them to be a dehumanizing concept. I've not heard good things about them, and I just don't want to. I don't have to. I live in a major city. There are lots of people to date, right? And so what my head up means is that when I'm out and about, I'm actually looking, I'm actually engaging. So like, for example, I came out of the store over the weekend and this fine man, and Atlanta has a lot of fine men. So like, it's not abnormal, but this fine man, we were walking past each other and he goes, how you doing? As you do in the South. And instead of just going, how you doing? And walking away, I looked at him in the eye. I said, I'm doing well. How are you? And he goes, I'm doing better now. And I said, oh, I'm so glad I could do that for you. And then, he asked for my contact information and went from there, right? My head is up. I even went to an event the other week, and I just sat outside by the fire pit with my girls, and there were some other men there. They were smoking. I was just drinking. We ended up chatting for like an hour at like everybody together about Atlanta. And then when the night was over, they all paid for all our drinks because that's a beautiful thing. It's kind of the custom, the protocol. And as me and my girls were leaving, one of them stopped me. The one that I actually thought was the most intelligent stopped me. And he was like, I really enjoyed your conversation. If you're single, I'd love to take you out. And I was like, I'd like that. And we exchanged information, right? What's different for me about dating in your 30s as opposed to your 20s is, one, I'm choosing to do it. There are spans when I'm like, no, I don't feel like dealing with this. I just move on. My life, I've decentered men. I've decentered marriage as a part of my life, right? If that's something that happens, it happens, but I'm not chasing it anymore. I don't know if I ever was, because it's just how I am. But you cannot find partnership if you're not actively engaged in seeking it. It's just not the way it works when you're in your 30s. Maybe in your 20s, when you're around the same people all the time. But in your 30s, that's not the way it works. But unlike my 20s, I'm not checking for every man. I'm not like, your values in your 20s are shaped by what you've been told. Your standards have been shaped by what you've been told. Yes, your experiences happen too, but your dating life hasn't been robust enough to have the level of standard, I guess you could say, that someone does in their 30s, 40s, beyond, right? And so I immediately sign someone up and it's like, yeah or no, right? And that's fine. I'll go out with you or I won't. But what I don't do is change my lifestyle for this, right? And that's something you do in your 20s. Like you be going out just to meet men. And I never, ever do that. My head is just up at the stuff I would already do. It's been warm this fall for some reason. So I've been like rooftop me. And so me and my girls have been going out on rooftops, or we've been going to restaurants and just sitting there on the patios and having wine. Or I'm just out and about because it's warm, right? I don't know what we're doing here. And as a result of my head being up, I'm getting dates. I'm getting asked out. It doesn't mean that these are going to turn into anything. But because in my 30s, I don't care what kind of date it is, right? Because I'm dating based on my standards and my values. So I don't have these arbitrary rules around no coffee date, no dinner date. Like, no, like we're going to do something I want to do anyway. So like if we're going to go to my favorite coffee shops, then that's fine, right? If you want to plan a date, I'm still going to ask you what it is. And if I don't like it, we ain't doing it, right? Like, so I think it's just very different dating in your 30s than in your 20s. And whether you're dating for marriage or not is up to you. How you go about it is up to you. But I will say in my 30s, my standards are very high. And it's not something I compromise or need to compromise. Because one thing I've learned throughout this life is there is somebody who will do it, who will be that person. But also in my 30s, my standards aren't ridiculous, right? They're not like a pipe dream of what could be. No, I've seen what is. And so in my 30s, my standards are based on my values, my life experiences, and what I have learned I need and want as a secure woman in her late 30s, right? It's just a different landscape overall. But I wanted to put that out there because you guys will see that I'm dating. Y'all know y'all won't see the person ever. And also I don't date one person at a time. It's a good way to not keep your sights too focused on somebody and like start making up stuff in your head about them and what you're doing. Instead, I date more than one person. And then if I want to zero in on one person, it's because I have vetted them to my standard and so much more. It's not an illusion of who they are, but instead, I like this person for who they are. So we'll continue exclusively, right? But it takes time to get there. And, right now, I'm just dating. So you're going to see that. But anyways, let me go and do some work. I need to make some breakfast, do some work. And then I got 2 appointments. I got a wax appointment and a pedicure appointment because both of those things need to get done. This is going to be like a maintenance heavy weekend for some reason. That's just how I scheduled it. Don't we love my hair? It is grown. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll show you again what I do. All I do is spray my hair. But let me know if you have any questions about my hair. The locking is going really well. It is budding. But anyways, like I said, let me get this work day going and then I'll see you guys later. I don't know what I'm wearing on this date, but I never do I? Do I? Morning, good people. I'm moving slow this morning. I'm clearly tired. I just was out so much these last 2-3 weeks. I even went to Chicago, as you guys saw. So today we take it slow. I do want to cook some chili. I want to meal prep, but we take it slow. I did throw my laundry in there. I'm going to go buy these groceries and I'll come back and go from there. I don't want to cook outside of my meal prep. So this may be an order food day, but I'll at least go get the food I order if I do that. Also, my voice? What? The basket's pretty full, but I still need to buy plenty of meat. Spent $56 in Trader Joe's, got a whole bunch of food. Publix, I'll probably spend the same and get 3 things. I literally spent the same amount at Publix that I did at Trader Joe's for not even as close to the same amount of stuff, but I did get meat, so there's that. Anyways, I'm feeling really lazy, but we're gonna get this meal prep done. Caramelize my shallots, and the bacon is done. I just gotta strain it, drain it, I should say, if it's oil, break it up and put it in here. And I'll do that when it's cooled down in a second. Got my custard, which I did mess up this custard. I put in too much cottage cheese because one of the ways I've successfully gained muscle in the last, let's say 9-10 weeks, is by eating higher protein, and I do that through food mostly. I do one shake. You'll see me do it every morning. Start my day off with protein, but other than that, I've just been eating food, which is more food. I'm actually eating more calories than I was, but leaner calories, if that makes sense. I love quiches for breakfast because they're just so easy, right? Y'all have seen my routine. I'm usually like rolling in to my first meetings or whatever I'm doing. Quiche is supremely easy. I'm making it even harder than it needs to be, right? I don't have to cook bacon and shallots. I could just throw some frozen broccoli in there and some cheese and the custard, and it's like super easy. I use the frozen pie crust. This is a 9-inch pie crust from the freezer section. I always end up with 2 in those packages. I never find one that's just 1. So I had one in the freezer already. And so quiche is so easy, and it's easy in the morning as well. This will make 6 servings for me, and that's ideal. I'm not interested right now in like hard, difficult meal prep or meals in general. I just want flavor, you know? Chili has so much flavor. That will also be a 6-portion meal. I will do my veggies here in the air fryer. You'll see those. But anyways, I'm going to do this bacon, and then I got to go back to the store and pick up some beer because in Georgia, you can't pick up beer before like 11:30 a.m. So I gotta go now back to the store just to pick up 1 bottle of beer. 1 bottle! It's annoying. So in summer, I like to make salad or salad fixins in spring and summer, actually. In fall and winter, I just roast veggies. And I do that for either because you can just throw a protein on top and be good. So I bought some salmon. And the beautiful thing is I can air fry any of the meat I choose, like shrimp, or this week it's going to be salmon and halibut. But this just makes it really easy to eat a healthy dinner or lunch or whichever meal I choose to do it for. And my chili's going too. I always love a chili, and I've been waiting to make it. Even though it's not super cold right now, I just wanted it. So here we are. All right, so I drove behind God's back to Johns Creek to get my eyebrows redone, my eyebrow tattoos. It's been several years and they're completely gone. And this one, I really prefer to have the tattoo for sure. And so I'm going to go in and show them a photo of what my makeup looked like for that wedding I was in October. The brows, perfect shape. And get those microbladed back on my face. I go to Brows by Millie. They just do amazing work. And so that's where I came back to because I'm not about to mess with my brows. I'm not about to get them messed up. And they just do such a good job of like shaping the face even when I'm not wearing makeup, which like y'all can really see my face in this lighting. My skin under the acne looks really good, but I just went through like I went through a bout of acne that I did not enjoy, and it left marks. So I've been wearing makeup to cover that while it heals lately. I really just need to get a peel. I don't know when I'll do it, but I will get one when I feel like I have downtime to get one. I don't want to get one and be in the streets and stuff. So I will do that eventually. But either way, I'm very happy and excited to be here. And my brother came over in the moment before I left to pull out my Christmas decorations like down because I can't reach them where they're stored in my apartment. And so he brought them down. So when I get back, after I finish work, I can go and put those up. I wanted to go to tennis, but I realized that getting my brows done, I'm not supposed to like sweat or be in the sun afterwards. And I won't be in the sun, but I will be outside. You know, the rays are still there. So I'm gonna ask her about it, but I don't think I'm going to tennis tonight. So that just means it'll be a Christmas decor night with my cider. I kind of want to get some rum to spike my cider, but I be going out so much that I don't feel like I need to be drinking at home. Hey y'all, so you see my becoming board here? I made it into a desktop. I think I shared that. I did that, and I also made it into some wallpapers for my phone. And it says becoming 2036 because this is the person I'm becoming in the next decade. Not all of it's going to take the full decade, but this is who I'm becoming. On Substack, I'm doing monthly posts called The Blueprint, and I'm sharing the process here, right? I've talked about process before, and I was like, how can I concretely share the process of what I'm doing as I'm doing it and bring you guys along? And so I have created, let me see, I'm actually waiting on a package. Hold on. And I want to make sure that I'm supposed to sign for it, a new work phone actually, but that's neither here nor there. But I have created this becoming board. That was something we did together. That's something I shared how to do. And that was in October. For the new November blueprint post, which they come out at the end of the month, so then you can work on it the next month. I'm going to talk about the identity that you take on when you are deciding on this journey. And you do that before you write out your short-term goals. So this is a realization of who you want to be, right? So then the identity you take on are I am statements. And so in my daily Core 4 journal for today, I've been writing out who I am becoming. So like this fit person here, I am healthy, right? It says I am a healthy person. That's the identity I'm taking on. These home stuff, I'm a homeowner. The traveling, I am a world traveler. The friend part of things, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now, like how I want to say that. I'm like, do I want to say that I am a devoted sister, friend, and possibly wife? Do I want to say I am the anchor within my social community? I'm trying to figure out what that statement will be. Let me know your suggestions because by the time you see this, I'll still have time to figure it out, to formulate it. Because like I said, this is the December prompt that I'm sharing. But that's the one I'm trying to figure out. I did figure out I am elegant because like I want to be the person that takes very good care of their body, right? Their skin care, their hair care, also takes pride in the clothes they're wearing because I have figured out a personal style. If you guys haven't noticed, like I'd be shopping my own closet and then I'll randomly, like, actually, I got to go down and get a package, so I'll show you guys. But I'll randomly be like, you know what, this would be a good addition to my wardrobe. And I purchase it, not the other way around. But we'll talk more about that. But that is one of the exercises in the blueprint for next month that I'm already starting. And then once I have these statements written out, I'm just going to spend time writing what that person does. And that will prepare us for the next step, which is the goal setting step of things. I also have a travel manager in my Notion template that in my Notion database here that I'm thinking of sharing. And I do have a goal template that I'm thinking of sharing as well. The Substack people get get discount codes, my patrons, etc. for this stuff. But, you know, when it says I am an author, what does an author do? An author writes. An author writes regularly and publishes regularly, right? An author is reading other people's work. An author has a whole creative practice. And so I'm going to write about that. And I'm going to flesh that out for each of these I ams. And then when I am done with this by the end of the month, I'll be ready to set goals in my new planner. And I told you guys I would share with you how I'm going to use my Sterling Ink planner. So next video, I will share my whole planner setup for next year. But I thought I'd share this because I told you guys I would. And this is just, if you're interested in my process and like just joining me as I go, then Substack, it's a paid subscription. The monthly subscribers get the blueprint. They get a monthly reading wrap up. They get a weekly reading list, which is just a conglomeration of things each week that I'm looking at, reading, like news, recipes, politics, all of that. That's all in there. And I think that's all they get each month. That's separate from the regular Substack post. There's still a unpaid Substack post for anyone who's interested in joining. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And then once I pick up my package, I will share the new item in my wardrobe. I also today purchased some D&D nail polish because they had 50% off, and I'm actually about to paint my nails tonight to end my night. I just got to take off this polish, but these just kind of peel off easily after a while. The D&D, I found the polish doesn't stay as well with the Le Manoir or Gel Care base coat and top coat. So I did get a D&D base coat and top coat to use when I use D&D polishes. But that was my first D&D polish, and I really did like the consistency. It was very easy to use. So I like those two brands for my at-home manicures, which I'm going to, like I said, paint my nails again tonight. I don't really need to do another manicure. I just need to paint them again. I wore the previous polish for 2 weeks, so it's time. Anyways, talk to you guys' head off. I want to continue to do this practice. It's kind of like my wind down in the moment, and then I got to do a bit more work. But I don't have to cook because all my meals are cooked for the rest of the day. Oh, you see my eyebrows? Okay, wait, let me move this. You see my eyebrows? Didn't they come out perfect? Now they're dark, right? Because they're healing. But that shape, baby, I am loving it. Now I have a touch-up appointment next month. You have to do a touch-up like 4 weeks later. And what I'm going to do is have her feather it out more from the middle so it's not so pigmented in the front, and then we leave the pigment in the back. And then we'll move on to the next step of my little plan here. My skin is not doing the greatest at the moment because I can only like wipe my face with micellar water for like 10 days. My skin is going to be angry about that. Anyways, let me continue.